All right, so let's look at opening leads, lesson 9. So the opening lead is the first weapon in your fight. Okay, so as you are a defender, you're trying to take the declarer off in their contract, and quite often your lead could be critical. So it could be good, bad, or indifferent. So let's have a think about what we're trying to do here. So first, choose a suit you think will get your side off to the best start. So quite often, longest and strongest is a good guide. If you've got a strong suit, then you can take some tricks in that suit. If you don't lead that strong suit, then potentially declarer could get rid of losing cards in that suit. So that is one reason why we might lead our longest and strongest suit. If you listen to the bidding carefully, that should guide you. Sometimes what people don't say is as important as what they do actually say. That's a common thing in bridge. Quite often what people don't do. Okay, you can work things out. Why didn't they bid something? Why didn't they play a particular card? So when you've considered all the suits, then you must ask yourself, which card in that suit are you going to lead? So there are some conventions which will help your partner to understand your lead and what your holding is in that suit. So the lead of an honor promises the one below it, but denies the one above it. So it shows the one below it usually, but not the one above it. So if we've got ace, king, queen, 4, we're going to lead off the ace. All right. And if we've got king, queen, jack, 4, we would lead off the king. So this is what's known as top of the sequence. And if we lead off the queen with queen, jack, 10, 4, again, we're showing that we've got the jack, but we're denying that we've got the king. So we treat near sequences in the same way. So with ace, king, jack, 10, king, queen, 10, 9, lead the top card. So it's like as if we've got 3. So here we're leading off the ace as if we've got ace, king, queen. Here we're leading off the king as if we've got king, queen, jack. But we've got this near card, okay? So it's just one down from the jack. So lead the top card. Now, another situation is when we've got an interior sequence. What you do there is lead the top of an interior sequence. So ace, queen, jack, 10 would lead the queen. King, jack, 10, 9, we would lead the jack. So we're not going to lead the 9 or the 10 or anything like that. We're going to lead the top of it when we are leading. So that's the important thing here. So it's not usually safe to lead an unsupported honor. So an unsupported honor is one such as, say, the ace that doesn't have the king. So that would be unsupported. So in this case, what we're going to do is lead the 4th highest. So with unsupported cards, honors, we're going to lead the 4th highest of our longest suit. So if we lead the 4th highest, we are promising an honor in that suit, but not the ace in a suit contract. That's the important thing here. Not the ace in a suit contract. So if we've got a holding like king, 8, 7, 6, 4, we're going to lead the 4th highest, okay? So a lot of people get confused with this. They count from upwards and think about leading the 8. So here, 4th highest, that's the highest, the king. 2nd highest is the 8. 3rd highest is the 7. 4th highest is the 6. So we lead the 4th highest. Queen, 9, 5, 3, we are going to lead the 3. All right, that is the 4th highest. Now, when we're leading against a no trump contract, if we have something like this, we can lead the 4th highest. But if we're in a suit contract, we're not going to lead this suit at all, okay? You might be tempted to lead the 4, and indeed it might well work out to be a great lead. But against a suit contract, you should never really, you should avoid leading or underleading from an ace, okay? So underleading from an ace, this is what I mean by this. So a lot of you might be confused by when I say the term underleading from an ace. So if you are playing low and you have an ace, that is what's known as underleading. All right, you're underleading from the ace. You're playing a lower card. All right, it's just an expression we use in bridge. So don't underlead from the ace. Now, sometimes we don't hold one on a card. So in other words, we've got a lot of trash in our hands. So we're not going to lead 4th, okay, from 4 or 5 rags. So rags are just small cards. So it'd say to partner, I have an honor. So if we lead 4 fires, we're saying we've got an honor. Now I class an honor card as the ace, king, queen, or jack. I don't class the 10 as an honor card. Other people will class the 10 as an honor card, but I don't in this particular instance when I'm leading. So if we don't have the ace, king, queen, or jack, we can't lead 4 highest. So here, 9, 7, 3, 2, we don't have ace, king, queen, or jack. So I'm going to lead the second highest. So we're not going to lead 4 highest now, we're going to lead the second highest. 9, 7, 6, 3, 2, we're going to lead the 7. So second highest from a poor suit, basically. So lead the second highest. Lead high for hate. So in other words, you're leading a high card, you don't really like the suit. That's what you're saying to partner. So it can be quite difficult or tricky to work out whether partner's got a good kind of holding. So a lot of time when you lead like a 7, an 8, a 6, that kind of thing, you don't particularly have a great holding in that suit. And you're usually sort of leading from the 2, 3, or 4, or maybe 5 as well. That could be 4th highest. So it's about recognizing what is 4th highest, what could be 4th highest. So you'd have a look at what's in your hand, what's in the dummy hand, because when your partner leads, you can see the dummy hand and you can see your hand. So you can already see 2 hands. So you have a look at all the small cards and see if it's possible for partners to be leading 4th highest, even when they lead a relatively high card, like a 7. So I always try to help partners to get the best picture of your holding. So here, another kind of lead, 9, 6, 4. So we've already discussed this lead in that we're going to lead the second highest from a poor suit, but it's the way we continue the suit afterwards. So here, what we call this is a mud lead. All right, we're going to lead the middle card. And then the second card we're going to play is the up one. So in other words, the one that is higher up. So we're going to lead the 9 next. So that's the card we're going to play second. Now that seems a little bit weird, okay? But in general, we're going to play the highest one next. And that is to give partner the right shape of our hand, okay? It shows that we have another card in the suit. So we're going to play middle, then the 9 up, and then down, we're going to play the 4. So partner knows we're going to have at least, we've got 3 cards in our hand. So we lead the 6, then the 9, and then the 4, middle, up, down. So a middle card, when you hold 3, means you have no honor. It also says, I don't really want you to lead this suit back, all right? Sometimes in a suit contract, for instance, you might lead top a doubleton. So for instance, let's say you had the 6 and the 4. The right card to lead then would be top of a doubleton. So you'd lead the 6 and then play the 4. And that would show 2 cards in that suit. So if partner, for instance, had bid this suit, so if this was spades and trumps were hearts, and you only had the 6 and the 4, if you lead, say, the 6 of spades and partner's got the ace and the king, they would play the ace and the king, and you would play the 6 and the 4. And partner now know that you started off with 2 spades. They could then continue, play another spade, and hope that you would ruff the 3rd spade and get another trick that way. So you should play the 9 on the next play of the suit. By playing the 9, partner knows you don't have a doubleton. By playing upwards, they now know you've got another card, and that could another card in that suit, and that could be important for the defense. So high-low would show 2 cards. So in other words, if you play 6-4, that would show a doubleton. So here, by playing upwards, you're showing that you've got more than 2 cards. Versus a suit contract. So typical leads are singletons. So that is a very common lead against a suit. Leading a singleton, you lead your singleton, you're hoping that partner wins that trick, or maybe you win that trick later on. Partner gets the lead later on and maybe plays that suit back, and you can ruff in that suit, assuming you've still got some trumps in your hand. A doubleton, this quite often, if partner hasn't bid the suit, leading a doubleton can be a bad lead. All right, it can give away tricks. So it's not my favorite lead, leading a doubleton. It can work, but it's not my favorite lead against a suit contract when partner's not bid this suit that you're thinking about leading a doubleton from. But if you do lead a doubleton, you should play high, low. All right. Usually when you play a doubleton, it's a suit that your partner's bid. It's a very common sequence to lead the top of a doubleton when partners bid that suit. So against a suit contract, it's common to lead a singleton or a doubleton. This may be partner's suit if they bid it. So don't lead a singleton if you aren't concerned about getting a ruff. So if you've got a king, queen, jack of trumps, then quite often leading a singleton can also give away stuff give away information in that suit. So if you're going to ruff with like the jack here, or the queen or the king or whatever, it's unlikely it's going to create any extra tricks. When you ruff, you want to be ruffing with low cards that give you an extra trick. Here, this suit is very unlikely it's going to give you any extra tricks. You're always going to get two tricks in this suit. Let's say the king knocks out the ace, you've got the queen and jack. So you're always going to win two tricks. So ruffing here with these high trumps is not really going to be beneficial because you're always going to win those two tricks anyway. You're better off trying to get your own suit going and hopefully exhausting their trumps and then claiming winners in your side suit, as it were, your strong suit. So trumping here with good trumps is usually not beneficial to the defense. Okay, so active or aggressive opening leads. So leading low from an honor like a king is considered an active lead, an aggressive lead. Leading an unsupported honor. So leading an unsupported honor might be if you've got king 5, let's say a king and a small one, or queen and a small one, leading the king or leading the queen, that's leading an unsupported honor. So in other words, you don't have a card below that. When we first started talking about standard leads, we'd lead the king from king, queen, jack. So normally when you lead the top of the king or the queen, you're showing you've got the card below that. So here, if you lead an unsupported honor, then it's dangerous. All right, you could be giving tricks away by doing that. Okay. So for instance, you could lead the king and declarer could have the ace and queen. So you'd have won that king if you hadn't have played it. But by playing that king, you've led into, say, ace queen, for example. All right, so the opposite of active leads are passive leads. Trying to avoid giving tricks with the lead. So give a trick declarer will always make. So in other words, if you see, if declarer's just got like the ace in dummy, by playing that suit, so halfway through the hand, say, by playing that suit, they're probably always going to get that ace anyway, assuming they've got, they can get to it. All right. But by opening up other suits, you are being active. You can potentially give away tricks by opening up another suit. But by playing a card which is they're forced to kind of play, which is a high one, which is going to win anyway, you're not giving anything away. So a good lead is leading a trump from 3 small. That's often a good lead because quite often they're going to have an 8-card fit. Partner's only going to have 2 cards in that suit. It's unlikely that leading from 3 small is going to give anything away. And the benefits of leading from a 3-card trump suit is that you can potentially take, if you can lead those 3 trumps 3 times, you can take 6 cards, 6 trumps off dummy and declarer's hand, and also not open up any other suits where you might be giving something away. Top of a sequence, if you've got like a solid sequence like king, queen, jack, 10, that kind of thing, then you play the king, and the only card you can really lose in this suit is the ace. So it's not going to give anything away. They're always going to win that ace if they've got it. Second from an honorless suit. So not leading away from an honor, but leading from a rubbishy suit can often not give much away. So if we have a look at this bidding, 1 spade, 2 spades, 4 spades, what are you going to lead on this hand? So I think it's pretty clear. All right. But let's kind of discuss the possible options. So if we have a look at the club suit, well, here, if you led a club, which is a possible lead, you could potentially leading into ace queen of clubs, right? Remember, this is your lead. and the person on your right has bid 1 spade and then bid 4 spades. So when they bid 4 spades, they're showing they've got like an 18 count, or they've got a lengthy spade suit. So I might have less points and a longer spade suit, but they've got a strong hand. So if they've got a strong hand, you could be leading into honors. Okay, so you could be leading into something. So if you lead the 6 of clubs, you could be leading into ace queen of clubs, and therefore your king of clubs might not win, and they could generate the ace and the queen of clubs, which would be 2 tricks. You could lead the 8 of diamonds, for instance, and that could well be leading into ace, king, jack of diamonds. So again, that could be a bad lead. Leading a heart. So what heart are you going to lead? Well, if you lead the 4th highest, you could potentially be leading into, say, a singleton king. All right, so I wouldn't touch that suit at all. I wouldn't touch any of these suits. So to me, it's clear, it's straightforward. I would definitely lead a trump. I'm unlikely to give anything away, and hopefully I'm taking some trumps off the defense. 6, if I can get 6 spades out of them, then that reduces their trumps, so they can't trump anything, hopefully, or maybe only trump once, let's say. So I definitely lead a spade with that holding. So they're in no trumps this time. Which suit are we going to lead then? Now, quite often it could be the suit that they did not bid. They might mention 3 suits. So if they've mentioned 3 suits, there's a good chance that the 4th suit is maybe their weakest suit. So that's a possible lead. Dummy's 2nd suit. So the bidding might go a club, a heart, a spade, and then 2 diamonds. So quite often Dummy's 2nd suit might be the weakest suit. So we can lead through that. What we're trying to do is lead through strength. So whatever they say on the left, we can, if we make a lead of one of their suits potentially. So if they bid all the suits, for example, you might want to lead the 2nd suit of Dummy, because we can lead through that, especially if we've got nothing in it. Partner might have something juicy in that suit. Declare a 2nd suit. So if we've got something reasonable, let's say we've got Queen, Jack, 10 in their 2nd suit, again, that would be an okay lead. Also, if they're bidding their 2nd suit, that could well be their weakest suit. Okay, usually the 1st suit they bid is going to be the longest suit. So quite often leading a 2nd suit that they've bid, that could be their Achilles heel. So by elimination, rule out two or more of the suits. So quite often you don't want to be leading into declarer's hand. So if they bid something, quite often you can rule out leading that suit. So you might also rule out leading whatever the person on the left says first. So you could rule out 2 suits quite quickly. And then if you can rule out 2 suits, you can come down to 2 suits, and it might be pretty much a guess between what you're going to lead. So you could use your best educated guess. Sometimes there might be a difference between leading a minor or leading a major. So you might lose a club, or you might lose you might lead a major if they haven't investigated about majors. So that could be a good reason to lead a major rather than a minor. If, say, 2 suits are equal, you might have a 4-card club suit and a 4-card spade suit, but you might decide to lead a spade rather than a club because it's a major suit. Because it's possible that maybe the bidding's gone 1 no trump, 3 no trumps, and they didn't investigate looking into a major suit. So 1 no trump, 3 no trumps, the bidding's gone. We're not giving much away here, although it looks like they're not struggling for points, because we know that when this hand bids 3 no trumps, they're going to have at least 13 plus points. So here, partner leads the queen of spades. What does that show? Well, if they're leading the top of a sequence, it should show the queen jack. They might have queen jack 10, they might have queen jack 9, and they might have a reasonably lengthy suit, 4 cards at least. Okay, so they've got queen jack 10, queen jack 9, maybe 4 cards in that suit. Partner leads a 2 of hearts. Now, what does that show? Right. So this shows you've got exactly 4 hearts because you're leading your 4th highest. You can't have anything lower than the 2. So the 2 of hearts must be the 4th highest. So that's important information. Now you can look at your hand, look at dummy, and you can work out how many cards declarer has in this suit. The other thing about the two of hearts is it should show that you've got an honor in the card because you're playing a low one. So there are two things, an honor, 4th highest, and only 4 cards. Partner leads the 8 of diamonds. So this looks like 2nd highest. So you're leading quite a high one. It could be 4th highest. What could you have? You could have ace, 8, 10, queen, ace. That's a possibility. All right. Could have that. So we'll have a look at your hand. Can partner hold that? Because they could possibly lead the 8 from ace, queen, 10, 8. So have a look. Does dummy have the queen? Do you have an honor? What do you have? Do you have any of these kind of cards to make it impossible for that to be a lead? A lot of the time, this 8 could be the 2nd highest. So they might have a long diamond suit. So they might have something like 9, 8, 7, 4, 2, or something like that. And the 8 would be a standard lead from that sequence. Okay, so remember, 2nd from a poor suit, as in quality-wise, but you might have length in it still. Partner leads a 4 of clubs. Again, that looks like 4th highest. So 4th highest, so 4 or more cards. So maximum of 6 cards because they could have the 3 and the 2. Okay, so if the 4 of clubs is the 4th highest, they could also have the 3 and the 2 in their hand. So they could have 6 clubs at most. But have a look at your hand. Do you have the 2 or the 3 of clubs in your hand? Does dummy have the 2 or the 3 of clubs in your hand? Then you can work out whether partner's led 4th highest, and it could only be 4th highest. If you can see the 3 and the 2 in dummy on your hand, then you know it's only 4th highest. All right, so this time they're in a suit contract. What suit? What card are you going to lead? So first of all, you have allegiance to leading whatever partner bids. So quite often, lead partner's suit, regardless of whatever you've got in your hand. You can't get told off for leading partner's suit, okay? Our best suit. So if partners bid something, you could potentially lead one of your cards still. If you've got a good lead, you're going to have a good hand though to make sure to lead something from your hand and ignore partner's bid. So you might have something solid like king, queen, jack, 10, and that'd be a nice lead, leading the king from a very solid suit of your own. The suit they did not bid. Again, if they bid 3 suits and they haven't bid a 4th suit, it could be that we're strong in that suit. So you could lead that suit. Again, dummy's 2nd suit, that's probably their weakest suit, and you're leading through the strength. Okay. And declare a 2nd suit for the same reason we said before. Or trumps, and the trumps is sort of the thing that beginners don't like to lead. But if you've got several trumps, you can get them out of trumps potentially, stops them trumping in. If they can win their trumps individually, separately, and they've got 8 trumps, that's 8 tricks to them. But if you can take their 4 and 4 trumps off them, if you've got 4 trumps and you can keep leading them each time, they'll only win 4 tricks. They can't trump anything if you take all the trumps off them. Okay, so again, by elimination, you get rid of two suits and try and make your best educated guess of what you're going to lead. So remember that rule though about not underleading from an ace against a suit contract. That's one that beginners tend to forget. Against a suit contract, you shouldn't underlead an ace. If you've got something like ace, 10, 7, 4, then probably don't lead that suit whatsoever. Okay, so the bid has gone 1 no trump 4 hearts. So 1 no trump 4 hearts. The 4 heart bids should show a 6-card heart suit. Partner leads the queen of spades. Again, that should be probably from an honor, queen jack 10, queen jack 9, that kind of thing. It could always be a singleton as well, don't forget. Any card can be a singleton, remember. Partner leads the 2 of hearts. So it looks like partner doesn't want to give anything away, doesn't want to lead another card in another suit and let the 1 no trump hand maybe get some tricks or something. Okay, so you just want to lead trumps and maybe try and get the 1 no trump bidder, maybe get them out of hearts to stop them roughing in if they've got anything to rough in. But it could be just a kind of passive lead. Probably got 3 of them. Defensive lead. Don't want to lead over suits to give anything away. Partner leads the 8 of diamonds, second highest again. Or it could be a singleton, or it could be top of a doubleton, or it could be a mud lead. So you could have 9, 8, 2, leading the 8, you could have a mud lead, that kind of thing. Partner leads the 4 of clubs. Again, that should be most likely going to be 4th highest. Got an honor in the suit, because if you're leading 4th highest, you should have an honor. Otherwise, you'd lead 2nd highest from a poor suit. And you shouldn't have the ace. Remember, if you're leading against a suit contract, you're not going to underlead the ace. So what are we going to lead with this hand? Look at this hand, okay? The bidding's gone 1 no trump, 2 no trumps, 3 no trumps. So what does the bidding tell you? So bidding 2 no trump says that they've got like 11 or 12 points, and they're just scraping together 3 no trumps. They've only just got the values for 3 no trumps. Maybe they've got 26 at most. Maybe the 3 no trump bidder's got 14 and the 2 no trump bidder's got 12, but that's the most they've got. Maybe the 2 no trump bidder's got 11, and maybe the 3 no trump bidder's got 13, a good 13, and decided to bid 3 no trumps anyway. So maybe they've got only 24, but they've got 24 to 26 points. They don't have loads of points. They don't have like 29 points between them. So that can be useful information going forward. You can be able to count the points as they go and try to work out what your partner holds. Okay, so what are the potential leads here? Now, if we count our points, 7, 8, 9. So I'd probably give them, let's say give this hand 11 and give this hand 14. Give them 25 points. So 7, 8, 9. We've got 9. So they've got 25. So we got 34 there accounted for. So partner should have 6 points. So what could partner have for 6 points? Now the bidding's gone 1 no trump, 2 no trumps. So they haven't explored for a major fit. This 2 no trump bid should deny that they've got a 4-card major. So we're going to look at you haven't already looked at it yet, which you won't have done. There is a convention called Stamen where you look for a major fit. So because they haven't done that, there's a good chance that the 2 no trump bidder does not have a 4-card major. So that being said, partner could have 6 points, could have something decent in the majors. All right, we've also got a long diamond suit. So we could lead the 4 of diamonds. That would be a standard lead, 4th highest. And what we're hoping to find is maybe partner's got the ace of diamonds or the queen of diamonds, and then we can run a load of diamonds. What is the other possibility? Well, it's possible that maybe we could lead a heart because partner could have some strong hearts, but partner's going to need a lot of hearts in order to make this heart lead useful. They're probably going to need something like king, queen, jack to 5 hearts or something like that. And that's very unlikely to hold that. Plus also, they should be able to duck the hearts. And therefore, if partner does have king, queen, jack, partner's going to have nothing else. Okay, no more points in any other suit. So they can't have any other card to get in with. And once we've exhausted our 2 hearts, we can no longer play another heart. So it's unlikely that hearts are going to be very useful. Spades, now partner doesn't need as much, no. And also if partner does have magic king, queen, jack of spades, and they've got king, queen, jack to 5, now obviously we'll be taking this contract straight off. We could play a spade, okay, and we could take the first 5 tricks or something. But again, having partner hold the king, queen, jack of spades, that's pretty unlikely. So we could lead the 4 of diamonds. That partner might have something useful like king, jack, 10 of spades, for instance. That's more potential to hold that. So a spade lead could be okay. So what I would definitely get rid of, though, is the club lead. I would not lead the jack of clubs. That can give something away. So that's leading an unsupported honor. Leading the jack of clubs when we don't have the 10. And also by leading the jack, we're telling the opposition that we don't have the queen of clubs. So I would absolutely not lead a club. That'd be the one card I wouldn't lead. So if I was going to lead a heart, I'd lead the 10, although I don't think that's a good lead. If I was going to lead a diamond, I'm leading the 4 of diamonds, 4th highest. Alternatively, I could lead, say, a low spade, hoping to find something in partner's hand. I don't want to lead the ace of spades because that just might open up the whole spade suit to the opposition. So I want to sort of keep it back just in case. So I'd either lead the 2 of spades or the 4 of diamonds. personally on this holding. But any lead could be perfect, all right? But I'm just saying what is more likely to be good. It could be the 4 of diamonds, could be the 2 of spades. I think a lot of people, if you just wanted a standard score that you think that most people are going to lead, I think most people would lead the 4 of diamonds. So if you wanted to get an average score compared to everyone else in the room, then leading the 4 of diamonds would give you that. Okay, if you wanted a good score or a bad score, you wanted a different score, let's say, then you might want to lead to, say, the 2 of spades. Okay, so we've discussed that. So remember then, partner will watch what you lead. So that's another important thing. As the other defender, make sure you see what partner first led. It's really important to remember what they led, whether they led the 3 of hearts or the 9 of hearts. So they might have led a heart. Can you remember which one? That's important. Try to remember which card it was as the other defender. And then you know whether to continue that suit or maybe try something else. So remember which card partner leads. So choose the right suit and then lead the correct card from that suit. So top of a sequence. So don't, for instance, a common beginner's mistake, which I see time and time again, is leading 4th highest when you've actually got a top of a sequence lead. So if you've got king, queen, jack, 9, don't lead the 9, lead the king, lead the top of the sequence. If you lead the 9, then they could win a cheap trick with the 10. Okay, if they've got ace 10, declarer, or between them, dummy and declarer, and you lead the 4th highest 9 when you've got king, queen, jack, 9, you could well give a cheap trick away. So don't do that. Okay, so there's some information. So read that from the red book, 77 to 85. There's an exercise on page 89 and then practice hands on 91. And also if you got the yellow book, it's 74 to 75. So make sure you get the leads, check my notes that I give you, and have a practice on the practice hands as well, the 16 practice hands. Hopefully that's useful to you.